somebody that, of course, I go right to the point. The favorite approach question that I ask people is, I say, do you consider yourself a money-motivated person? And I stop and I watch their eyes, I look at their body language, I see how they react to me, and if they come back and say, money motivated, you're doggone right I'm money motivated, then I already know that I've got kind of a fish on the hook, do I not? I already have somebody there that already has a high level of motivation, because what I'm looking for is a Class A prospect. I want to deal myself. Now this is Lane Winston speaking. I want to talk to Class A prospects in my business, and how I'm going to determine that are, number one, I want people who are money motivated, number one. Number two, that are goal directed, and number three, have a strong center of influence. Money motivated, goal directed, strong center of influence. And the reason why you want people that are money motivated is because in their subconscious mind, they already are wired, they're hardwired to have something else, right, more than what the other person is. Because you can drag somebody kicking and screaming against their will through the doorway of success and spend a lot of time trying to do that, but ultimately what happens is that it brings you down. It's like carrying a big, weight on you all the time, a ball and chain, and you certainly don't want to do that. So if you can kind of sort out the people right up front that are money motivated, they're going to do all of the things that Steve is about to talk about, and dropping them in the system and going through the system, getting on the three-way calls, going to the meetings, doing all the things. I don't want to steal any thunder that he's going to talk about, because he's going to talk about how once you get a prospect, warm or cold, to drop them in the system. But I just want you to say, look, if you went out and talked to people, and you were prepared, and you asked them a simple question, and it became a reflexive thought, and I kicked you out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, give me your approach question. You say, do you consider yourself a money-motivated person? Have you ever thought of alternative ways of making money? In other words, you need to have it just like every time you cast your rod, that bait lands right there next to the bank, and you pop the cork a couple of times, and you see that cork go down like that. Guys, you know what I'm talking about if you've been fishing. You know you got one, right? You get a big old smile on your face. I see y'all grinning out there, okay? And it's a good feeling, right, when you got a fish on the line. And so now your goal is, of course, to line the fish in and bring them in. And what happens traditionally is people spill their popcorn in the lobby before the picture show, right? In other words, what they want to do is they want to tell them all about everything right then and there, and try to, dump everything on them. And they end up, selling themselves outside of it, because what do people ultimately buy more than anything? They buy you. At the end of the day, they're really not buying Ambit Energy when you first meet them, right? Even if it's a warm market prospect of one of your warm market people, you still have to sell yourself, do you not? And a lot of people try to bypass selling themselves instead of really focusing in on what is the most important thing that you want to focus in on, which is what our whole industry is built on, is warm market relationships. My dad was a master. I used to sit back in awe of how he could so quickly establish common ground and find something about that person where they just fell in love with him, and in doing so, they were like putty in his hands. You see, when you have enthusiasm, faith, belief, and conviction in yourself, product and service, company, mission, your why, you don't get all the objections, you don't get all of the challenges that you normally get, because people say, well, I don't know what you got, but I want a piece of it. And it really makes your prospecting efforts a lot easier. So if you went out and every day, like the AWACS airplane, you had some specific, what I call activity goals, that you said, now doggone it, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get me 3 to 5, let's say you set a goal to get 5 of these cards filled out each day of people that said yes to your question. Just like when you went to dinner or to lunch today, how many of you asked the waiter or waitress wherever you went, did you consider yourself a money-motivated person? Have you ever thought of alternative ways of making money? You sure seem like a success. I was really impressed by the way you handled us with the food and your enthusiasm. You just seemed like you had the go. I don't know what you're doing for a living, but would you consider maybe taking a look at something that might make you a little extra money? Right? Anybody do that in here? Raise your hand. Okay, well, you're a master prospector. Give yourself a hand, because that's what it's all about. It's all about being on all the time. Now, the good thing about it is that once you get 5 of these a day, right? If you got just 5 of these cards filled out a day, and by the way, it's okay to give them your business card and your information after you do what?
Get theirs.
Get theirs. Because you're going to ask them after they say, do you consider yourself a money-motivated person? Or have you ever thought of alternative ways of making money? And then they say, well, yeah, well, what do you do? Say, well, I'm in the energy business. I don't have a lot of time right now. I got to go, right? Because you're not going to spill your popcorn in the lobby before the picture show. and you don't have a lot of time. You're not there to sell them anything but you, and then you're going to say, look, why don't I do this? Let me see if I can find something to write on, right? You know you have a 3x5 card on you, right? There's no, you got it. It's like, you know, you pull your 3x5 card out, and then what do? You start to ask them for their name, their phone number, their email, any information. Listen, I don't have a lot of time right now. I've got to go. Let's do this. Now you can give them your business card if you want to, because you have the most important thing, which is the ability to follow up. If you get 5 cards a day by going out and shopping, ladies, for the things you want in life, go to all the stores and shop. There's retail salespeople waiting with varicose veins and open arms for you to your message. Okay? They're all out there. Okay? And just keep in mind, everywhere you go, there are people that want to and are looking for ways to be able to have a better life. Listen, I worked 13 years in the automobile business. I was #1 wherever I worked. I didn't hop around a lot. I was in one dealership for 10 years. And I never, ever had one person come up to me and ask me about a business opportunity. Out of all of the thousands of people that I talked to, not one ever tried to recruit me into a business. And I'm telling you, there are people out there that you can approach, and when you become a master prospector, here's the value add that you get by doing that and creating a contact and knowing how to use these approach questions, and we have many of them, whatever's comfortable for you. 1 to 2 or 3 people in this company coming into your organization can make you a very, very wealthy person. You get paid for what you start, not what you finish in this business. It's very important. So if you got 5 cards a day, okay, you work, or let's say 4. Even if you got, what's 5 times 4?
20.
20, and then that's 20 a week. If you work 4 weeks, that's 100 cards, right? So if you had 100 cards and you followed up on those cards based on what Steve, is my math right, Steve? Help me out.
25.
Huh? 25. 5 times 5 is 20. Yeah, 5 times 4, 25. That's 100. Now, thank you. It's a gold jacket. It's a gold jacket. I know now. It's gold. The jacket is gold. I revamped my marketing plan. I revamped my goals plan. It's a gold jacket, folks. That's what I'm going to get, a gold jacket. I'm focused on gold jacket. Even country people can do this business. So you got 100. You got 100. You got 100 prospects at 10% closing ratio, which is very realistic. You got 10 new prospects, 10 potential people that you brought into your business, and you know, and then if you turn around and work the system, create a list, and then follow up and drop them into the system, you'll be very, very successful. You know, today is the day you dreamed of yesterday, and if you'll become a master prospector, and you know, understand that telling ain't selling, ask it is, and you'll hone in on the people that are Class A prospects that are really looking to be successful in our business, you'll find that you'll be successful as well. I'd like to close out by just sharing with you the fact that, you know, I believe that one of the most rewarding things that you can do in your business is to become a master prospector. Because you get really an added benefit that is something that a lot of people can't calculate. Yes, you might get a new recruit that makes you a lot of money, but some of the greatest friends and relationships and people that I've ever met have come through prospecting, and that's a blessing to you and your family and a blessing to them. You know, when you touch somebody's life by bringing an opportunity in their life, you are really giving them what I believe is 2 of the greatest gifts that you can give to people. One is your personal testimony with regards to your religious faith and belief. That changes and helps save their soul. And you introduce a business opportunity to them, it's going to save their pocketbook. God bless you. Thank you for me. Where we at? Got Steve coming up. He's going to tell you how to do the system.
Share a few of them with you, and then I'm going to focus in on 2 of them that I think are the key elements that have created success for me and a whole lot of other people with that. So, we'll get past that. So what you want to do is present the information to people. Now, you've got to do exactly what Lane said, which is separate the invitation from the presentation. When you meet that person in the grocery store, first call them, invite them, you don't want to start rattling off the presentation. We've all done that. That's where you call somebody on the phone and you give your invitation line, maybe a script, one line you've learned to get them to take a look, and they say, wow, it sounds exciting, what are you into? You said, well, it's cool, if you get in this business and you bring 2 people in, and they each bring 2 on their front line, you get paid $1.50, and then you get paid 50 cents, and you bring 3x3 matrix, and it can build down to 2,000 people, and then eventually you'll have, you've lost them.
Yeah.
A lot of times we refer to that, unfortunately, or unpolitely, as throwing up all over them. You know, they wanted just a little bit of information, you felt like you had to give them everything you know. All you want to do is invite them to get in the system. So the best ways to present